Hey, you there? Oh, hey, what is going on? Whoa, what a Friday it was. Hopefully the week is going good for you. And price action has been rough the last couple of days. The price went up there and then it just kept stalling. And it's hard because it's like, is this thing going to rip up or is it going to start to break down? And then you start getting this idea that, hey, we're getting a little bullish. You got to be careful on taking shorts, but as everything just continues to kind of cap over itself and really needs to reset, if we're going to get the run, it's actually kind of nice where it didn't just run up there and then fell. But when you get to the end of the week, it could have expanded pretty quick and yeah, just took off the top and then started to roll over a little bit. We are pretty exhausted on the longer time frames, and I just say exhausted just means it's stretched away. It's like a rubber band; it gets pulled so far, and then has to kind of expand back out, and then it can stretch back out again. That's kind of what the market's always doing. It's a breathing process, and you just got to keep in the back of your mind. That's why you got to be careful when you're which way you're going to go. You want your macro and your micro. You want to understand really what's going on in those time frames. Those are your bigger time frames because if they want to go bullish, then you want to be quick on taking off your short if you're going to get on a short, because really you're just saying it's going to run up hard and then pull back just a little bit. If you're shorting the market because it's the macro, the longer term time frame is bearish, then it's the opposite of that. Obviously, it's going to be running hard in a long stretch, and then when it starts to bounce, this is where a lot of people get trapped because they think it's going to run way back up, and it doesn't. So we are flipping towards that bullish mindset. And that's where we got to be careful because we're not 100% there yet, and it's showing a little bit of reversal because we didn't get all the way to that time frame. And I can actually show you that on our Kabroda site, and that it actually does show you that quite a bit if you're watching our signals, because it's going to tell you if it's that macro and micro. So I'm going to go ahead and start there real quick and show you like what I'm talking about. Let's jump over to the chart so you can stop listening to me talk and start looking at some fun stuff, right? So this is our market radar. This is always watching the longer time frame and then a lower time frame. So the macro is using a week. So it's watching the weekly candles as how they process out. And then you have your micro type time frames. That's your rolling 1 hour, 168 hour or hour candles. So it's basically kind of doing the same thing, but it's when every time the new one prints, the new one falls off. So it's kind of moving. So it kind of can flow with the market a lot better and give you a better idea. Well, if you watch this actually each day, these were starting to stack up and starting to show potential reversal over. And you can see now that the ETH and Solana had both moved into a bearish, but Bitcoin's staying in a neutral state. So yeah, a lot of times you guys gotta, it's telling you it's kind of that top is what it's really saying. Now, could it rip up and keep going? That's where you don't want to get stuck in that mindset or you get hurt. So here is the chart, and we're looking at it right now. This is a trade potential on a short 15-minute. Now, I want to point this out because this is that behavior that I'm talking about as the micro bias was shifting over, getting into neutral, and people kept on saying, hey, it's going to run to the sky. And you can see that it did the hard run up. This was Tuesday. It ran all the way up into the Wednesday morning. And then since then, it started to bleed back. And really, it's watching that broadband idea. It's watching it kind of come back to its moving averages, where you can see it got tight right here, came back up and created a lower high pretty quick. That was the first like, oh, what's going on? But you still have this moving average, this 200s just keeps pushing. And what you're watching for is it to carry price action and jam it into this ceiling, and then it rips out of there. So right here was the area that it should have taken it out. And the reason why I say that is because this is where it's easier to draw lines on a chart. Is really what I'm doing is I'm following the 200, and price action is too. You can see it's breaking up, breaks down, test it, but it didn't take this out. See, it didn't. It either's got to hold here all the way through. Something might live here. It all the way through and break out here, or it's going to fail. Is the other option. And when it started to fall through here, that was the the red flag. So if you're, I'm going to go ahead and show you the range that this could have ran in. It's just kind of that start. I'm going to use this at the bottom. Now, I did come down and wick and take some area out here. That was kind of just showing you that it was getting exhausted when it starts pulling that stunt. But when you're getting near the top, sometimes people, we call it FOMO, they're fear of missing out, right? And they want to jump in, and they're the retail people typically that are, I don't know why we say that stuff, but anyways, retail people, retail traders are coming in at the last minute. I would say it could be anybody really. It's just bigger money and stuff kind of usually buys on the lower right and it runs up and they're kind of starting to sell out as people want to jump in. So that's what you see. That's why it kind of a lot of times will lift higher. If you go back though, it was already telling you that these were getting topping. So it's not like it's a surprise when you get here and it's starting to top. Like it's not like, oh man, I can't believe this happened. It already was telling you. This was more like, oh, I can't believe this happened back here. So now our Kabroda lines have called the solid area right here. Now you can see us breaking down. This has always been the bounce right through here, and now we're breaking down today on this. But it's just not really letting go that hard as much as you would think. Now, I will go back to talking about this pattern here. This did break right through here. And that's where we saw the drop down. And this is where it started to reverse back over. And this is where it gets kind of tough in the trading because it bounced here and then bounced here again, bounced here again. But you can see that it just bounced down. But look at the 200. This is what I really want to point out. See how it came up and then flattened out? Well, that's because price action stayed down here in the lower half of this range. So really the half of the range kind of is the 200. Now today, this morning, this was its last hurrah, if you looked at it that way, because it got back above the major moving averages, got all the energy behind it again, and it was ready to take out this upper area. A lot of energy sitting up here, and it's sitting there ready to come. Price action wants to come after it. Once this started to fall back down, though, where's your 200? Now it's on top of price action. So it's just the opposite, right? You saw it coming up here for the last couple days, and now it's starting to curl over on top of price action. So really what you saw here is really what you're going to start seeing here. And now where is this going to go? Well, there's a lot of energy that's sitting down into the 76,000 level. So it could come definitely back down into here, but let's go ahead and take a look at some longer time frames for some clarity here and get rid of all my cartoon drawings that I put on my chart here. So I'm on my 1 hour, and you might be saying, well, where could this go? Well, we're talking about the 200 on the 15. If you lose the 200 on the 15, usually the next area you kind of look is the 1 hour. The 1 hour and 4 hour is usually where I kind of go after now. We could say, okay, where is some strong areas of pullback? Well, yeah, the 1 hour 200 is a strong area that this will probably come and bounce into. Now, this bounce into could be the bottom, and this starts to restructure, and then boom, we take off again. So if you're going to be taking a short, be very careful on taking a long short, because what we're talking about, we're pushing, the Bitcoin has pushed through some key levels, and it's showing a lot of bullish momentum here. So I'd be a little more leery. Now, I'm not going to say that it's ready to run up or that it's just going to run and then short pullbacks and run and short pullbacks. I think this is where it eats people up. It likes to do a deeper drawdown, but not as much as you would think it would. And a lot of people get caught holding their hand and they're not dropping it out. So you can see where I just marked this drop here, because there is a lot of energy down here at this 74,000 level right here. So you might be like, well, why are you saying that? Well, let's go out to the 4 hour. The 4 hour is way down here on the 200. This could start to climb back up. I marked it right here. This is that 1 hour noise up here. And then you can just look at price action the way it's sitting. Right now, I doubt we're going to come all the way back down in here. We could, that 70,000. 72,000 is pretty strong, though. So this could be a pretty hard line in the sand. And this could play out throughout the weekend. You're coming into the weekend here. This could just roll over, hit the 1 hour right through here, and then grind. Could hit the 1 hour. I guess I didn't mark it the cleanest. It's way up here, actually. Let's go back into the 4 hour again. It's pretty much following, let's just say it's following that, because that's going to be more accurate. So this is the 55 exponential moving average on the 4-hour. This is another hard line that you would really want to watch. These are all Fibonacci levels, really. That's all moving averages are. Uh, so a lot of computers and stuff will trade off of these moving averages, and they can move. So this 4-hour, it easily could come down, and anywhere in the 76,000 level is a pretty good spot to just say, hey, I'm going to pull my trade. That's a great idea. And if you're already in this short and you're thinking about it and you're still in it tomorrow, you might be too late. Hopefully you're not, and this will help you out. Or back practice, test this, really know this, because this is why. And is what I'm talking about here. This definitely is lost its momentum though. On the 1-hour, this is our breakdown area. That's where it came through. You have all these moving averages that have gotten tight now, and they're putting pressure on the chart. They're going to start to expand away and put in the chart's going to push to another area that it can get to. When it really, it's just going to run to that 2-hour, 100 or 200, 1-hour, 200. And the reason why I'm not going to just say it's going to fall through here and I say be careful is it's a 50-50 pattern. It's coming up. So this will probably come through. It might wick down through, but it's going to come back up. And then you're going to see it do what it did on that 15, right? And then it could come back down. Well, this is going to start to rotate over. And then that starts to put us in more of a bearish idea because we're in the middle, in the center. So you have the long time frames and the short time frames that are playing out right now. And then you kind of have your center, which I've talked about this before. The center right now is bullish. So you have to be careful. We have to roll this over into a bearish idea before we can turn around and get all bearish about this. We're going to stay long because we're told to. The charts are telling us to. And what are we watching for? This is a bounce. It could whip through a little bit, but it could bounce, and you'll see this, like I said, roll over. Price action will get back underneath, and then it's going to come back up somewhere. This area is pretty tight for this to kind of play around in, and but I would not be surprised if it came down and bounced, and then we climb back up, and then Monday morning we're running back up, and then we're taking out that upper liquidity again. So that's where I say be careful. We're going into the weekend and got to watch that stuff. So. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and leave you with that. Talked about quite a bit. I didn't really get into a lot of the trade action today, but the reason why I'm pointing out a little bit of a window and really how to analyze the price action that you're looking at. That way you can put the probability in your favor. I know a lot of people, just the other day, someone was telling me, oh, trading, that's luck. You're lucky. I'm just about as lucky as everything else in life. We all put probability in everything we do. We put the measures in place to protect ourselves and make sound decisions as best we can. And not everything works out. I mean, how many times have you bought a car and then it breaks right after you buy it? Or anything else that you do in life. You bought something and it didn't work the way you thought. You invested in something in life, somebody, whatever, and you didn't know who they were, and it surprised you. So you're basically, if we kind of live by that luck, then you're always lucky. No, we always make sound decisions. I mean, that's what we grew up with. We know what we're looking for, and we make sound decisions and be solid. Teach yourself to trade that way too. Find price action the way we're talking about here. Find out how to read it, analyze it, backtest it, look for the patterns, meaning the support and resistance. How do things need to be set up? Why are they there? And then if you always zoom yourself out and then looking back in, you're not always just saying, hey, it looks like it's going to do this, or it looks like it's going to do that, or I'm just going to throw some money at the market and see what happens. You're going to put the probability in your favor, and you're going to know kind of where the levels are, and then you're going to take a chance. You're gonna roll the dice. Nice thing is you know the dice are weighted in your favor at that point. So go with that. But all right, we'll see you guys after the weekend, and we'll be checking out price action and see where things are going. It's getting pretty good. Things are getting good. So don't get too bummed out. So like and subscribe, put any comments you have in the comment section, questions, whatever, we'll dig into it with you. This is what we love to do. That's why we're here, and we'll see you in the next one, guys. Take care.